Now we want to hear from a Republican candidate you did not see on that list. Before many of the others launched a challenge against former President Trump for the party's nomination, there was Steve Laffey. He's the former mayor of Cranston, Rhode Island, and also ran for Senate in 2006, and he joins us now. Steve, we appreciate you being here with us.
Christian, I'm so glad you had those two on before me. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's a little busy on the GOP side, and I wanted to know, how does it feel to be in a crowded field that's seeing more and more presidential hopefuls join the race with each passing week?
Well, it feels good where I am. I'd rather be the small growth stock that's about to expand than what's happened to the people who have announced or just before they've announced. If I had been the vice president of the United States of America for 4 years and was sitting at 7%, I wouldn't run. I mean, you just had Chris Christie on talking about the fact that America's in a big argument about whether character matters. There's no argument in America about whether character matters. It does. And Chris Christie's character has been questioned with Bridgegate, with leaving office with such large unfavorables, not funding a pension plan. And what we need is to unify the middle class with fresh new ideas at stevelaffey.com, and someone with my background, an unusual background, a financial background, to handle this financial crisis.
Yeah, I like the plug there. I want to pull up this headline from Reuters. Analysts like the one here have pointed out any additional adds to the 2024 field would really clear the way for Trump. What's your take on that?
If the field is simply sycophants for Donald Trump, who supported him when it was convenient, ran TV ads in 2018, reading to their children, "Make America Great," or the people like Chris Christie or Vice President Pence, people who worked for him like Nikki Haley, who turned his back on him, I can see why President Trump is clearly upset by this. But if it involves fresh new ideas about how to get inflation to zero, what to do about our public schools, and complete solutions to do away with corruption, then you want a brand new person to take on Donald Trump. The other people can't do it. It is correct. If they're the only people at the debate, and the RNC wants only those people at the debate, we won't get any change in the Republican Party. We won't get it. But we need it desperately because the debt is too big. We need a financial expert. If I didn't think I was the most qualified person to run, I wouldn't be here. There are certainly more people in the country qualified than me. They're just not running. But the retread celebrity contest has to stop. And it has to stop with the debate in Milwaukee, where more people get in.
I want to bring up some of your background. We know that the economy is one of the largest issues for voters going into 2024. You have a financial background. You focus your campaign on this central theme of fixing the nation's financial standing. Why do you believe this is the top issue?
Because one, the debt is $31 trillion. The borrowed debt is over $24 trillion. And now we're at the point where we're about to hit a financial crisis worse than 2008. My background, poor kid from Cranston, Harvard Business School, helped run a financial company, became the mayor of the lowest bond rating in city in the United States of America, single-handedly turned it around, taught the top finance course at the University of Rhode Island, made a movie, Fixing America. You can still see it Amazon, that goes at directly what to do about these problems. And the only website of someone who's running, who goes through the giant solutions completely, like Social Security. It's financially immoral to keep saying they won't touch it. These are the other candidates. We have to modernize it and strengthen it for our young people. We have to have a complete plan to bring back the middle class on purpose. It's disappeared, been destroyed by the elites in the Federal Reserve. I will bring it back, and I have the talent to do so.
Steve, I want to get real with you here for a second. I don't need to tell you exactly where you're polling. I'm sure you and all of your folks on your team have been watching this. Is there a part of you that's like, the presidency would be great, but I wouldn't mind being VP or a cabinet position in a Republican administration? Is there anything in you that's saying, hey, I'm going to shoot for the stars, but maybe I'll land on the moon here? What's your thinking?
Christian, you went to Morehouse College, right?
I did indeed.
Yeah. And so, Martin Luther King wasn't the president. And there's a lot of people from your college who changed the very nature of the debate in this country. If I only change the nature of the debate and somebody else gets young people to actually get Social Security, I'll go back and hang out with my 6 kids. I don't need to do this. But I will tell you this, whether I have a position or some way to help, I'm here to help. My kid's a little bit older. My daughter with cancer just got out of grad school and got married. So I can do this, where I took a number of years off, where no one heard from me because of cancer in my family, stage 4 neuroblastoma cancer in my daughter Sarah. Long story. But I'm here to change the very nature of the debate. And that's why at stevelaffey.com, I need to get into these debates so we can clear the house of the retreads. And if it's not me and it's somebody else, so be it. But yes, it's a long hike. Thankfully, we have shows like yours, something called the internet. And I became friends in 2012 with Herman Cain. And that's why I adopted his 999 plan. And we talked about me running. And the 999 plan, he told me his mistakes. The wonderful man, he passed away, Herman Cain, great guy, should have been president. So it can happen. You can catch lightning in a bottle. And I hope we do, because listen, Jimmy, in November of 1975, nobody knew Jimmy Carter. I know Georgia was a state, wasn't like it is today, but he was the right man for the times. He caught on and became president when nobody thought it was possible. It's the right time to have a financial expert.
Yeah. Steve, I appreciate your time. Folks, Steve Laffey, 2024 hopeful and former mayor of Cranston, Rhode Island. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on and talking with us a little bit about your campaign.
Thank you, sir.